Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. Thanks for joining me. I am here once again by the grace. I hope you are here too by the grace. Tuning in or listening. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, comment, share Voice of Reason NF on YouTube. Clearly, my consistency is a stamp. Mondays, 12 noon. I had a pet peeve and it slipped my mind. I guess it's not meant to expose stupidity. There was something, I don't know if it's in the supermarket or driving. If it comes back to me during this segment, I will revisit. Okay, let's go. Fellas, I'm going to get at y'all not get at y'all, but test y'all a little on this one. You know, again, what was the last episode? Does Voice of Reason bash women? So let's make men responsible and accountable as well. Why should she think you're the one? Fellas, you got to understand. From popular to simple plain Jane. Women get attention, offers, compliments, etc. at large rates. From popular to plain Jane. What are you doing that's special? If you wait on just her decision to choose you, thinking that just vibe and aura or just because it's you, we get in our own sometimes, right? We can be dope. We can be lit. We can be a vibe. We can have things going on. We can be responsive. Like, there's pluses for sure. I'm not saying, men, you don't have pluses. What does she see and know, though? You got to remember, what's the chance that she's just going to roll dice and go, yo, you're the one? Sidebar, one of my favorite SWV songs, You're the One. But anyway, yeah, fellas, I mean, I could break this down and sit here and chat, but it's really self. You have to dissect that and dig deep and say, he's right. Why should she think I am the one? And don't think your money is it. If you're going to think your money is it, know that that's a very dangerous approach, a dangerous game. Because even if plain Jane never experienced that, can I really be mad at women? Think about it, guys. If a female approaches you, wants you, think you're the one, and she get bread, and she's using her bread to show you, unless you're real conscious, have a heart, believe in karma, try to live fair and square. If you're none of that, you're going to take full advantage of that. So you're banking on, sorry ladies, you're banking on a female to have all of those things I just described so you can use the money as your approach. Forget the moral side of this. If you're the shit, if you're lit, if you have confidence in yourself, why would you need money? I'm not saying at all. Why would you need to lead with money? Ever. You know, some women have told me in their day, their view, that a date doesn't have to be expensive. You use your imagination with that. You can find a platonic place to link up to get to know one another. I'm just saying, if she really trying to see what's up. So don't get that twisted with not never needing money. You shouldn't lead with money. So I got off of this a little bit because we are trying to find positive, healthy ways and approaches to why she should think you're the one. But remember, it's a competitive game out there, a competitive life. So again, they are getting approach in the masses. And that's not even counting whatever journey they're on. So you got a bunch of other dynamics in your way outside of that. If they're just on some single shit, if they're not dating right now, if they're on some abstinence, whatever they have as a self thing, mix with the entire world of men approaching them. Just be aware of this. Don't get beside yourself. And honestly, you should have an open and shut case with this. If it's too overwhelming, get your hints and clues early and move on. Move on. Because some men are too stubborn, sorry to say. I'm not proving. I'm not jumping through hula hoops and going. Like, if you have that type of mentality, you better be very open-minded and a little lax on who you date and who you get. Because competitive doesn't begin to describe this world in general, much less the men and women interdynamics. Cool? You have to have all the patience in the world mixed with blind love, I call that visual lust, to play her game. Does this piggyback a little bit? So, again, I pointed out self things that women have going on. Single and not looking, not dating. Because single and not looking mean they may entertain still, but they don't want anything serious. Not dating means nothing at all. Practicing abstinence, you're dead in the water. Let's say money is the way in for this individual. So these are 4 levels right here. Single, doesn't want anything serious. Dating, there's more. I'm just using these. Single, don't want anything serious. Not dating, you just a rat. She'll talk. Y'all not going nowhere probably. Abstinence, I'm talking about physically going out. I don't mean y'all not going anywhere, you're not going to get her. Sorry, getting tripped up. Let's stick to the strip right here. Single, nothing serious. Not dating. Abstinence, money. Fellas, you're going to jump in here and say, we play her game. So the single, nothing serious. Y'all go out on dates. Y'all going on dates. You do know that may not mean you're scoring. They may not have to vocally say they're practicing abstinence. That may not even be the vibe. They probably just don't want to be physical right now. We cannot be mad. You never hate the player, hate the game. Single, nothing serious. You choose to entertain and indulge. You think you can play the game. Don't bitch and moan. Hang for as tough as you can hang. And then reality hits you. They're not dating. What you even doing? You're just going to text and try to call to death? Try to get in that way? Break the whole I'm not dating stride? Good luck. Most of this is like set up for failure. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Crack the Da Vinci Code, do Mission Impossible, Rubik's Cube. I don't know if you want this much of a challenge in your life, fellas. It depends on what age, where you at. These are all failed missions. Let's continue. Abstinence. We're so knuckleheaded. You're going to challenge that, aren't you? Because abstinence, she may still date. She may still entertain. It's just not going down. So now you go on these dates. You're vibing out. Trying to break that, right, fellas? All of these seem like they're exited. They all seem like they ending the same way. Exit stage left. Keep going. Money. Fellas, are you, is there a bell going off? All right, well, money, I'll deal with that. Out these 4 scenarios, if you think money was the easiest to deal with, I feel you're wrong, but let's entertain this. Let's play devil's advocate. So you use the money, right? So they're not on none of that other stuff. They're not on abstinence. They're not on not looking, not dating. If you have the money, you will get what you think you want. So now you spend, and you spend, and you spend. You feel like, yo, voice of reason. At least I'm getting somewhere. But are you willing to sacrifice integrity, being looked at as a simp from this individual? Fuck what the world thinks. There's no real respect with that. I don't care how much they dress it up or make it look like there's respect. There's no respect for real. You want to go dive off the deep end and then try to challenge or test later and remove the money from this equation? See what that gets you. So I did try to make this doable by saying you have to have all the patience in the world mixed with blind love, visual lust to play her game. If you think you built tough for this, go ahead. I mean, I could slightly compare it to the streets. You want to be out there, D-boy and all that, then you got to take what come with it. You got to stand the test of time and be tough. But I still call this a failed mission because out of all the examples I gave you, none of them, I don't think none of them, even if you get through, if you stand the test of time, do you really want this person based off of how it started? I give small understanding to the others outside the money. If they were single and they ain't want nothing serious, and then you prove, I guess, that you're worth taking serious, that's not a bad story. I guess, if you have that to tell, you're like, that's successful. The not dating at all. The thing is, I'm not too heavy on changing people's minds, especially if they sound real adamant about it. Like if you're really stamped with this, the single not looking for real might be the only one. Okay, if I gotta give leniency somewhere, the single not looking for nothing serious is the safest. Not dating at all is kind of like, so I kind of prove myself even if I don't use money. Abstinence, unless you're practicing that, what are we even talking about? If you're not practicing that, what are we talking about? You can, listen, have at it. Drive yourself nuts. We'll see how that goes for you. Okay? I'm just saying, I don't see a win here. I don't. Okay, continuing. See, ladies, I took a week off. Is this any of this really coming at y'all? You might could pull a line or two. Let's continue. Do we ever take a break from women, fellas? That might be the best phrase right after these scenarios. So when you hear these scenarios, let's say, fellas, dating apps, live, social media, however you interact with women, you're single. You go at 4. These are the 4 scenarios. One is not looking for nothing. One's not dating. One is practicing abstinence. And the other one is about money. You see why? Do we ever take a break? Because if you line up 4 and those are the scenarios within those 4, you should say, let me just fall back. And a real fallback. Fallback doesn't mean, ladies gonna love this one, I'm coming at the guys a little bit. Pardon me, fellas. Fallback means nothing. You're not sniping. You're not taking a shot. You're not organizing anything. You're not you completely on pause, getting your shit together. Now, I know other social medias and other podcasts, other influencers will tell you, yeah, work on yourself. But it's not always about you need to work on yourself as the reason. If you keep being unsuccessful, or if you keep grasping at straws, or you keep like, sometimes you just need the break, period. You could have your stuff together. You sometimes still may need that break. Or a good argument is you never took the break when you was getting yourself together, but you was able to simultaneously get your shit together while never taking the break. And now you still don't have no success on that side of the map, on that side of the coin. So sometimes you got to take a break. I ain't going to hold you. I'm not telling you how long that should be, because unless a fella is practicing abstinence, how much of a break could he take? Because he feels he always has to entertain to scratch that itch. Because we have little to no self-control. Sorry. We have it. I feel like there has to be certain things in play to exercise and show that self-control. I feel like, it takes a lot. It can be done. I won't say we're as a whole a total disaster, but to take a break from women is telling you to kind of be abstinence, right? But I mentioned, I think you get a better perspective on this whole dating and interacting with women, period, once you do practice that for however long you feel, I can't, each guy is different, you got to know your limits. So take a stab at it, but a break may be necessary to really figure this shit out, which in reality, you never really figure it out. You just do better at it is all, right? All right. Everybody is a leftover. Don't get into too much details or for too long a duration. More so on the female side, fellas. You don't want to do research too much and write a book on what she's done before you. I know. You don't want a female that was too promiscuous before you. You're not trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. But I think things will show almost immediately if you have to be on that timing. If they're able to tuck it that good, and they are, whatever. You deal with what's in front of you, present and moving forward. Ladies, the same. It gets real tricky when ladies judge and want to say that they don't want their man that active or too friendly or too, you know how that goes. Y'all know how that goes. I don't got to go too deep. But yeah, we definitely got to leave this alone. Everybody was with somebody. Everybody has a past. I said this plenty of times. This is a repeat on repeat. But let's just leave that alone, all right? Because it is what it is. If the vibe is good, you're dealing with present and moving forward. People can get their act together. People could learn a lesson. Sometimes it's forced. Sometimes people are better because they had no choice. It's not who they are, it's who they become. Some people get to see the light, luckily, without too much damage, too much trauma. Some can just get their act together. That's the clearest path. That is the dopest. Because I don't feel you always got to get burnt to do better. But I will piggyback a phrase. Shout out Pastor Philip Mitchell. Said I'm not going to say it exactly the same way he said it, but it's based on pain makes you better. Pain makes you better. You're stronger. You deal better. You may make moves better based on the pain you've been through. Believe it or not. So in 8 out of 10 cases, that's going to be the success story. People are where they're at now and can hold their head up because of the pain they went through. But I still will debate, as voice of reason, that those two that didn't, they can be a success story as well. It could be the case where you didn't have to get screwed all the way over to get shit right. But 8 out of 10, yes. The pain is going to be your fuel, your energy to make change. I say so, right? So let's see. So until the next time, you know my 3 Ps: stay positive, stay pushing, and stay progressive. Peace.